Microsoft Excel, and go into the appropriate folder, which is Bernoulli's. So it's going to be, of course, under Dropbox, not OneDrive. You go down here, go to Brass Eric. And then Brass Eric, we're going to have, where is it? Bernoulli, that's here. And so we were, I want to say we were in the template, but we hadn't made it there yet. So let me go here. And let's just look at the data again. And in the data set, we decided to have these two data sets. Remember, we had too much data for the other one. We could use it. I say too much, but we could use it, but I'm not. I'm just using, the calculator is just going to require us to have 10 sets of data. So I want to take this, I want to copy this. For whatever reason, it wasn't copying right last time. So I'm just going to remove the color if I can. And then I'm going to copy this data. And let's see if this works. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the template here. And in our template here, you'll see the top part. I don't necessarily have it labeled, but I'm going to see if this is going to work for. So look at this. It says Bernoulli's over here. So I can tell you right now that this is incorrect, because if this is the kinematic information, it should generate this time of flight. So let's take this data out. Let's just go back and let's go down here to this data set. Excuse me. Paste that in. And when I paste that in, you'll see that we have our kinematic Y and we have our kinematic X. Excuse me. And if we go over here to the initial velocity, you'll see that we have our appropriate calculation there. Time of flight is approximately 1 point. Again, it's 0.16 seconds. And the initial velocity here is 1.35 meters per second. So we see that we have that. That's great. Now let's go back to our data set here. And let's do the same thing for this. Let's try the one with the color this time. I could have been just wrong. I'm just going to copy it with color. And then I want to go back to the data analysis tab here and just paste this in. So here we're having this problem again. I'm just going to close this down. There's no way I'm going to wait on that. So it's the color that appears to be the problem. So I'm just going to go back to the data set here. And so as to delineate between the data part that I don't want to collect, I'm just going to make this red or orange, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to change this color to no fill, so we won't have all of that extra stuff in there. And then I am going to copy this, go back to the template, see if we can paste this in. And we still have our data set here. I'm just going to paste right here. Paste. See, there we go. And so you'll see that our Bernoulli's Y has been calculated. The grade portion here is not used. And I probably could just make this totally black, but it's not used. And so now we have our initial velocity calculated according to Bernoulli's equation here. And then our kinematic one is here. And the percent difference is here. So here's the initial velocity according to Bernoulli's law. And then we have our kinematic equations. We have approximately an 8.65% difference. And it's because Bernoulli's equation is an idealization. And we are actually getting the initial velocity with the kinematic equations. It's actually slower than Bernoulli's equations. And that is the end of this experiment. So just make sure you share this with me, and that'll be great.